And as I say, Bradford Bulls now enter the arena, cheered on by the fans on the open side, the northern side, terrace in there, waving the flags, playing the drums, playing the trumpets, welcoming this team onto this Odsal Stadium pitch. Bullman and Bullboy are here. There goes the altar. It's game time, and what will be will be. The next 80 minutes then all to play for as we await for the referee and Oldham to start the game and get the kick-off to the Bradford Bulls. The Bradford Bulls playing from the Coral Stand side towards the Ruley Lane end at this first half, and Oldham obviously playing from the Ruley Lane end towards the Coral Stand in this half. So the scene is set, kick-off is underway, and the ball falls off the tee. What a start, as we have seen. Whether there was a gust of wind there that took the ball away, who knows. But Scott Leatherbrow now puts the ball back down, and here we go again. Received there by Jordan Lilly, takes it on his own 10-metre line, passes inside to a second rower there of Cameron Smith, who then takes the ball up and plays the ball neatly, and met by two Oldham tackles now as game continues in the early opening stages. Mikołaj Laleski then looking to burst this Oldham defensive line, pushing them legs, manages to get over the 40-metre line, a quick play of the ball. Scott Moore in there, offloads to Jordan Lilly with a neat inside pass, takes the Bulls over the halfway line and into Oldham territory. Scott Moore then in at acting half, a bit of a juggle from Joe Keys, manages to keep possession and basically is pinned down there about 45 metres into the Oldham half. The kick goes up on the last tackle from Jordan Lilly to test the Oldham defence. The Oldham defence come out, take the ball well, and Mark, in the first set, all positive.
All positive for the Bradford Bulls. Good movement from them, but they've just given away a penalty offside at the play of the ball, alleviating some pressure there from Oldham. A penalty given on the 30-metre mark of the Oldham half, roughly in the middle of the field, and Oldham will kick that, some 35 metres upfield. So Bradford Bulls now having to defend the set and sat just behind their own 40-metre mark.
Adam Neal then gets the ball back into play as Oldham look in their first set of 6 to hold the ball and ask questions of this Bradford Bulls defence. The ball moving from the far stand side towards this main stand side. We see a lovely little inside pass there to Liam Thompson. Liam Thompson met by two keen Bradford tacklers there in Sam Alice and James Bentley, who bring him down. Play continues just shy of the 20-metre mark on the third tackle. The ball moving out now to the northern side terraces. Oldham again look to be switching the play around, moving it quite nicely from left to right. Again met by some good defending there, 50 metres out from the Bradford Bulls try line. Scott Leatherbrow then prompting, pointing his runners. There's a little kick through there, is well taken there by Ethan Ryan. Manages to collect the ball and take the ball down, and play continues now as Ross Oakes comes inside the field, manages to scramble towards a 10. Plans calling for the Oldham players to get back on side. Referees having none of it as play continues. And we see, again, Mark, what do you deduce from that first opening set of Oldham?
Well, I thought Oldham, the mean business Oldham, they look to be a little bit more fired up than Bradford to me. And they're going to old man the referee because every team does if you think you can get away with it. So let's hope John Robertson on top of the job. For me, just one of my pet hates, crabbing offside at the play of the ball, and the referee doing nothing about it. But let's see what Mr. Roberts comes up with today.
So fifth and last there results in a kick downfield, neatly gathered by Oldham, as Oldham now look to burst towards their own 40-metre line, asking the referee for a penalty there, saying, come on referee, we're not letting us play the ball, as now they make the ball a quick play up to the 50-metre line. The ball comes now towards his stand side with Gene Ormsby there looking at prodding, taking a bit of a run to alleviate the work of his forwards. Joined then by Liam Thompson, the industrious second rower, certainly getting through some work in these opening stages here at the Provident Stadium. The Provident scoreboard still shows 0-0, and play continues now as Oldham look to move the ball out on the far northern side terrace, but again resolute defending from the Bradford Bulls, pins him down 20-30 metres out from the Bradford Bulls try line. Fifth and last tackle. Oldham keep the ball alive, going for a bit of a power play. It's gone a bit scrappy, the ball goes on the floor, then we get a knock on and the referee calls play back. Will he change over? Yes, he's changed over, Martin, giving possession back there. Last tackle play, Bulls, straight to the Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, so far, we've seen some good movement from, as you'd expect from Scott Leatherbarrow and Dave Hewitt with Gene Ormsby, very experienced player Gene Ormsby. showing just what he can do. Stephen Neal entering the line from full-back, he had a good run. But the Bradford Bulls defence so far so good.
Yeah. Play continues then here at Oldham Stadium. And unfortunately there we see an error from the Bradford Bulls. Unfortunately, wasn't able to gather the ball in there, Cameron Smith, as the ball came out a little bit high from the play of the ball there, I thought, Mark. But mistakes will happen. It's early stages, and hopefully now the Bulls will have to defend and try and put that right.
Well, it's always best to get your mistakes out of the system early doors, especially when it's 0-0. But the Bulls were snatching at that, Pete, and I don't think there was any need to pass the ball just then. I think it should have been run out of the defensive area first, rather than trying to create something too early downfield. So
Kenny Hughes then marshals his Oldham troops to get them back underway here at Odsal. And the Oldham now Ruffiheads are looking, pushing and probing up towards the 30-metre line. The ball's coming to the left-hand side here, and Oldham asking questions, still pushing and probing there. They're now 15 metres away from the Bulls try line. Is that an injury we see there to Oldham? Is this, Mark, something that is creeping into the game a little bit, where players start to feign a little bit of an injury?
I think so. I watched it in Super League, I watched it in the Championship, whereby they're just maybe, although they're not under the cosh out, Oldham, they're in possession in the 25 metres out from the Bulls line, but just calling for a little bit of time on that, and I think you're right, he's walked where there's nothing really wrong with him. The trainer comes on, maybe a bit of information comes on, a bit of water, maybe some tactics, maybe somebody in the background's not quite right.
Yeah.
We do see it coming to the game a little bit more than I would like it to, but it is part and parcel of the modern day game.
Jack Spencer then with the ball in hand, the player that went down injured for Oldham, plays the ball. The ball's still alive. Scott Leatherbrow feeds the ball back inside on a lovely little run around pass there with two of his Oldham second rowers, Liam Thompson and Danny Langtree, looking to get involved. Scott Leatherbrow now testing, probing, drags his team over, and now we see Scott Leatherbrow go down with what is an innocuous knock, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a dirty tackle. It wasn't. He just sort of went down. He got hit from the side, and he went down awkwardly, I think, and he's gone down in a bit of a heap. And whether he's going to get up and continue to play, I don't know. And that might not be a bad thing if he doesn't for the Bradford Bulls. That might sound a bit unsporting, but so far he's been one player on the field that's impressed me, because every time he's got the ball, he's taken it to the Bradford line. So I think he's always going to be a thorn in Bradford Bulls' side, and I think he will continue to be so if he stays on.
Yeah, definitely. So the physio, as Marcus said, is on now. He's treating Scott Leatherbrow. Scott Leatherbrow, to be honest with you, didn't get up as easily as what Jack Spencer did previously. The referee's coming out now to talk to the physio, just find out what's going on. Instructions there on the field for both sets of players as we wait here now to see what's going to happen. Scott Leatherbrow gingerly getting to his feet. Will he be able to continue? The referee is asking questions. The physio is signalling back to the bench, so it doesn't look particularly good at this moment in time, although Scott Leatherbrow has decided that he'll stay on the park. The signal's gone back on. He's going to try and play the ball, although he is struggling, Mark, to even play the ball here.
Yes, he is. He's got a low leg injury
and
ankle or something.
Yeah, so the ball is played, a neat little chip through there. Oscar Thomas, ever alert there to the danger, and manages to regather the ball as the Bulls manage to get another penalty.
The referee said the older players were in front. Yes, that's exactly right, offside in front of the kicker. So pressure relieving penalty there for the Bradford Bulls. Yeah, pressure relieving then. So play continues on the 40-metre line. Moving out now, we see Ethan Ryan taking them on. He beats one, he beats two. He's brought down on the 30-metre line from the Oldham try line then. As play continues here now, the Bulls looking to make some inroads against this Oldham pack. Mikkel Alaleski there driving forward, met by three tackles as they move towards the 20-metre mark there. Ball continues. Scott Moore asking questions, looking for runners. Jordan Lilly's wrapped up. Although on that one, Mark, we've gone a little bit backwards, so it doesn't really give the Bulls any advantage at this stage. John Magrin then, pumping those legs, keeping everything going. Manages to drag the Bulls now towards a 10-metre line. Centre sticks. What will be the play here? The ball goes to the northern side, terrace side. Joe Keys, Oscar Thomas, quick hands. And unfortunately, as we've seen time and time again, the ball has gone into touch. Mark, an error from a good position that's now wasted. Well, that is unforgivable because I don't care how old you are, right, or what experience you've got, you don't pass like that.
No.
You don't pass like that as a 14 or 15-year-old, so that's no good. That's in your head. That's not thinking straight. That's just clutching at straws to try and force something to happen. They're going to calm down. They're going to think the moves through, and they're going to be positionally in the right place to perform the correct pass, or not, or just go down with the football. So Bradford will snatching at it a little bit. I know they're desperate for a victory. They'll be pumped up for a victory. But a victory will come if you eke out the groundage. If you get towards your opponent's line and put them under pressure, the points will come.
Definitely. Play continues then. Oldham now in possession, and they bring the ball centre field with Gene Ormsby then looking to get the ball. He gets the ball away, ably supported there, and then Oldham spill the ball, handing the ball back to James Bentley. It was a 0 tackle. Ethan Ryan sprints away. Ethan Ryan touches down. Fantastic opening try, making a turn there for the mistake that we saw, Mark, when the ball did go into touch. Great game awareness there from James Bentley and Ethan Ryan that sees the Bulls open the score. Bradford 4, Oldham 0.
Well, Oldham there a little bit tired as I thought they might be. They made a mistake, they dropped the ball. Bentley picked up. What I liked about Bentley there, he looked to his left, he looked to his right, he saw what the option was, he decided to go himself, he ran at the Oldham line. They stayed back on the heels, they didn't defend off the toes, they didn't try to attack him. He realised he didn't have the speed to go all the way, so he waited a beautiful kick to the corner for his teammate Ethan Ryan on the wing, who can gallop, and he did gallop. He galloped from the back, he totally overtook the Oldham defenders like an express train. There was nobody could get anywhere near him, and he flew and touched the ball down. Great try there from Ethan Ryan. Good attacking football, and well worth the entry money alone, that try. Superb stuff, but Bentley's thinking, Bentley's enthusiasm, and superb stuff. So on the Provident scoreboard now, we've got the Bulls 4, the opening score to the Bulls, Pete, and the Oldham 0.
Yeah, as we wait for Oscar Thomas, pretty accurate with his kicking, I must say. I do like Oscar Thomas and his kicking style, Mark. He is pretty accurate. We wait for him.
Very good.
Yeah, we wait for him to take this kick now as he lines it up. The Bulls go back to their starting positions. Oscar Thomas strikes the ball neatly. Manages, unfortunately, to just push that one wide. So the scores here then on the Provident scoreboard stand. The Bradford Bulls 4, an opening try from Ethan Ryan, where Oldham still remain on 0 as we wait for play to continue. Oldham walking back after 9 minutes, Mark. I'm a bit surprised there. They're walking back very, very lethargically towards this restart.
Yes, I think so as well. They're looking tired already, and I'm not saying they're out of the game by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, I'd have been walking back so early in the game when I've just let a try in that they shouldn't have let in, because they shouldn't have spilled the ball. I'd have been walking back ready to get stuck in again and eradicate that score, or help eradicate that score.
Okay, back underway then. The ball goes deep. Jordan Lilly there takes the ball, sunshine in his face, feeds the ball on the inside to John Magrin. John Magrin looks to gain an advantage over the 10-metre line. A little bit of a sloppy play there with the ball pinging about. Unfortunately, it needs to be tied at Ed Chamberlain there. Had to work hard to keep the ball. We're still looking, asking questions here of this Oldham defence. Scott Moore now does a little run from dummy half, manages to get the Bulls to the 25-metre mark. The referee telling Oldham to get back onside, and again Sam Alice now looking to get going and meets the ball. 5th tackle here. The ball moves back into the centre field. Joe Keys with a kick that's it's a nothing kick really. Easy for the Oldham defender to take, and the Oldham defence now look to attack this Bulls line. Mark, that kick there, why didn't he go high?
Well, that's a question I've been asking in a lot of games, Peter, because it's a big pitch is this. They were back downfield too far. That should have gone high, because you've got probably about a 70-30, 80-20 chance of getting the ball back if it goes high. Particularly it's a little bit windy today out there. No, not a very good kick. And in Oldham possession back in too good a position on the field as far as Oldham are concerned. Definitely.
Oldham then over the 40-metre mark, looking to push further deeper into Bradford territory. Here as the ball goes through hands, we see Dave Hewitt there looking industrious, bringing his prop forwards Michael Ward into the game, saying come on you, take this ball to the line, as we now see another little kick from Dave Hewitt that was collected there by Bradford. That should have been a penalty, and it is now, Mark. The referee saw that, he had a second nibble of him, and really that then shouldn't have happened. Oldham should have had a bit more discipline there. They'd lost the possession, pin him down, and let's get on with the play. However, giving a tackle away, giving a penalty away,
I think they have, and I think their coach will be livid with them, Scott Naylor, because they've given too many penalties away. Looking just a little bit tired. Remember, so many games in such a short period of time will take its toll, but that's up to Bradford Bulls to take advantage of that.
Michael Alaleski then centre field, plays the ball to Scott Moore. Scott Moore exploits the gap. Unfortunately, couldn't get the pass away to Jordan Lilly that was on the inside of him. And basically, Jordan Lilly throws a nothing pass, but Sam Alice able to take the ball and get the Bulls up now 35 metres out from the Oldham try line. The ball then comes to John Magrin. John Magrin inside. Jordan Lilly linking in play again. Sam Alice again taking another tackle there. Looking to keep the Bulls on this forward foot. As Joe Key spots a gap. Joe Keys opens his legs, feeds the ball on the outside to James Bentley. James Bentley scorches in. What a well-worked try. And again, found the gap, did Joe Keys. Took the ball to the line, which is great play. Every scrum half should do that, Mark. That's what I was always told. You attack the line. What a try.
Fabulous try for the Bradford Bulls, and Joe Keys took the tiring Oldham line on. He ran at the A and B defenders who weren't quite back in position, and he went to the left-hand side, ran the right-hand side. He found the gap, and Bentley ran onto it like an express train, into the hole, straight and hard, touched the ball down. Johnny on the spot, but thinking, the thinking from Bentley is very, very good. He's got a good footballing brain, this kid. I think he'll go far.
Yeah, I do. I must admit, I do like James. Yeah. I've spoken to him on numerous occasions. He's a sound, grounded young man who basically loves the game and wants to improve himself. But what, again, looking at the Provident scoreboard there, to see that now, Mark, the Bulls lead 8 points to 0 against an Oldham side that basically looked to be wilting in this sunshine.
Yeah, I think so, Pete. I think if the Bradford Bulls attack, I think the younger, faster legs of the Bradford Bulls should beat Oldham today, and I think if they take it to the line and suck them in, we get some good runners onto the ball, then I think it should be quite an easy victory for the Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, 14 minutes gone then on the Provident-sponsored Bulls scoreboard there. Oscar Thomas strikes the ball. Has he converted this one? Yes, the flags go up there. So 2 points to Oscar Thomas, opens his account today. The score now on the Provident scoreboard stands at Bradford Bulls 10, Oldham 0, with 14 minutes gone, Mark. Looking good. Looking good
for the Bradford Bulls, but I don't want to tempt fate too early, Pete, because the Bulls have given away leads like this and bigger than this in previous games, so they've got to concentrate. We talked in preamble about being ruthless and keeping your foot on the neck of your opponent. Well, let's see the Bradford Bulls do that now. Play starts then. Oldham kick deep. Looking then to target Jordan Lilly again. Jordan Lilly feeds the ball on the inside to his Leeds colleague there, Michael Alaleski. Michael Alaleski wrapped up by 3 Oldham defenders there, pinned to the ground with a bit of a struggle. Scott Moore in at acting half. Keeps the ball alive for the Bradford Bulls. The Bulls now on tackle 2, looking to test this Oldham defence again. The ball goes out wide to Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan again trying to get some pace, trying to get injected a little bit of pace on that fast hand side. Quick play of the ball. The Oldham defence there not really set, Mark. I would have thought that they were offside on that. With that shower down, virtually every play of the ball. They look tired, Peter, but that's up to the referee to sort that out. Yeah. But it's up to the Bradford Bulls to exploit it as well, isn't it? Yeah. Joe Keys then looking, asking questions. I think Joe Key, that's given his confidence a little bit of good, the earlier play, as we see the ball there go up from Jordan Lilly out to the fast hand side, taken by Adam Clay there, who's pinned down by Ethan Ryan on the fast hand side, and James Bentley. And Oldham now, ball in hand, will look to see what they can do. Cameron Pearce-Paul then, the on-loan signee brought in from London Broncos this week, taking a drive to relieve the forward pressure off his pack for Oldham. Gene Ormsby then, the elder statesman, I would say, of this Oldham side. Yes, definitely so. Again, dragging the Oldham forwards, dragging this Oldham pack up towards the 40-metre line. Fifth tackle here at Odsall. What will Oldham do? They look, they kick deep. That's going to go out on the full, which is a godsend to Bradford. And Mark, again, Oldham, I think the Bulls slightly unnerving them with the way that they've set about this game in the first 15 minutes. I think you're absolutely right. I think Oldham think that we can, pack-wise and size-wise, we've got you. But what Bradford have done very, very cleverly, they've brought it quite gingerly out of the defensive area, but then once they've got into a position to attack, the fleet of foot and the quick passing has been too much for Oldham. They can't live with that, and I think that's the way the Bradford Bulls will beat this Oldham side. Yep, certainly have to agree with you, Mark.
So the ball now in hand as we see Joe Keys pass the ball to Oscar Thomas. A lovely gap there for Ethan Ryan to exploit, and Ethan Ryan does his usual diving through the air with the greatest of ease. Anybody had thought there he was on a trapeze. Ethan Ryan dives in at the corner. Lovely little pass then. Lovely little leap play again. Joe Keys in there. Oscar Thomas in there. Find the gap, find the space. Ethan Ryan crosses the line mark.
Superb stuff from there. Great try from Ethan Ryan. The Provident scoreboard will move on even further. But Ethan Ryan is a master finisher. He's superly class in his finishing without a shadow of a doubt. The ball went through several pairs of hands very quickly down the left-hand channel. Again, I talked about that's the way to beat Oldham. That's exactly what the Bulls are doing. And if they do this, it'll be an entertaining afternoon and the Bulls could get a big score. 17
minutes gone. Ethan Ryan with his second of the afternoon. I think Oscar Thomas won't thank him for where he's where he's scored.
Unfortunately, we're touching down on the corners, aren't we? It's making it very difficult. But I rate Oscar Thomas as a kicker. I mean, we put the mockers on him earlier, didn't we? He missed one. There's a slight wind probably into the face of Oscar Thomas, but nothing too great. But let's see what we can do with this.
Yeah, a couple of quick mentions then to people listening today. Nice to see regular listener G-Star listening in on his travelling back from his holidays. Oscar Thomas there has missed that kick, so again a little bit too far out.
Keep quiet. Yeah, he was right on the touchline side.
Yeah, commentator's curse there, I think.
Commentator's curse, yeah. G-Star, you brought me a sticker up back from Skipsy Sands.
Yeah, so do I. G-Star will be round later for Rock and Brandy Snap.
That's it.
No problem. Also listening today, a good friend of mine, Tony Powers. Good afternoon, Tony. Hope you're enjoying the game. And another good friend, Chris Battle. Chris, obviously Bulls fan, not here today due to other commitments, but Chris will keep you up to date with the scores and everything else and all the action from the Provident Stadium, the home of the Bradford Bulls, brought to you by Provident, supporting the Bradford Bulls supporters home and away. Play continues then. Bradford Bulls just shy of the 20-metre line as we see John Magrin now take the ball up, looking to burst these tackles, trying everything he can. The Bulls are certainly targeting that far stand side as Ethan Ryan again is asking for the ball. He's speaking now to the touch judge saying what is going on. The referee has said that Bradford have knocked on there via Ross Oakes. Mark, I didn't see how that could be a knock on when the Oldham player went in and he ended up with the ball.
No, that's a strange one. The referee's seen something that we haven't, and Bradford Bulls looking to attack you right, their left-hand side, the Oldham right-hand side, from deep back downfield. They obviously feel very confident, and I think that's the way to beat teams like Oldham. I think if you're not a powerful pack, and Bradford aren't, because of their experience and youth, etc., then you've got to use the strength as your main asset. And on a fast flow, good hard track like today, use speed and youthful exuberance and good passing to the best advantage you can get. But going back to your point, no, I think the referee made a bad decision there, but it's gone now. Oldham have the scrum and they have the ball back. Yeah,
play continues then with Oldham in possession, centre field. Gene Ormsby then coming in again, doing some work as Scott Leatherbrow and Dave Hewitt marshalling their troops, saying come on, let's pick these runners. Dave Hewitt in again, pointing, asking questions of who's taking this ball next. The ball continues. Dave Hewitt then in at pivot as he goes and tests one, takes a little bit of a chinking run himself there, met by James Bentley and Joe Keys in defence. That's an error from Oldham. He dropped the ball there, did Pierce Paul, and basically this seems to be a bit of a pattern that we're seeing in when Oldham have the ball, they don't seem to be able to keep hold of it, Mark.
No, they don't. They're dropping the ball because they're snatching at play. Thank you, and I'm just saying thank you to a fan that's picked up my sheet. And they're snatching at the ball, and they're trying to run in ones and twos, and they're trying to muscle their way into the Bradford defence and try and get upfield that way. And it's not working for them. They're getting a bit frustrated. So when you try and pull something out of nothing, you tend to drop the ball.
Definitely. Well, I have the errors now, Mark, at 3 apiece so far in the opening stanzas of this first half here at Odsall Stadium. As now we see Ed Chamberlain. He's got the ball. What can he do? Ed on this near stand side. Again, Oldham pinning him down, not letting him play the ball. Quickly, the referee there speaking to the team, telling them to get back. This Oldham defence again, not fully back with the referee. Jordan Lilly looks now to have the ball. He's testing, he's running. That's what I like to see from a scrum half again. taking them on, looking, standoff half, asking the questions of the defensive line as the kick on the last tackle goes down. Doesn't really, it's a nothing kick again. Unfortunately, Gene Ormsby comes up with possession. A nice run there from James Ormsby. Gets the Oldham lads, or the Oldham team, over this 20-metre mark. And basically, again, Mark, we're seeing Oldham enjoying a little spell of possession from a nothing kick.
Yes, they are. This is something the Bradford Bulls have to improve. The field kicking out of hand. It's because they're having to kick too far, or should I say too far back downfield, rather than getting into the opponent's 30-metre mark with the sets, or 40-metre mark with the sets, and putting a kick in the air.
Play continues then as we see Dave Hewitt pump this one eye, asking questions of the Bradford wingers, and basically Ed Chamberlain there manages to take the ball. A little bit again of niggle at the tackle, plays the ball inside. Possession now with Oscar Thomas. Oscar Thomas met by two further Oldham attackers there, pinning him down. As we now look to see what the Bulls can do, where they can ask questions of this Oldham defence. Ross Peltier now onto the park. What an outstanding run there from Ross Peltier. Manages to skittle three of the Oldham players out of the way, and then Bradford, unfortunately, it looks as if Bradford have come up with a knock-on. No, I stand corrected there.
Came off an Oldham players.
Yeah.
Well, I'll check your point, Pete, because Ross Peltier, great enthusiastic player and good to watch when he comes on, but he tries just too hard to offload the ball when there's nothing on. You've got to clamp it and go down with it and let momentum go. Only really should the ball be let go when there's a gap there and you can see your teammate coming onto it. So, but they got away with that, did Bradford, and obviously an Oldham player had his hand in there, so it's a scrum with head and feet to Bradford.
Yeah.
On about the 55-metre mark, about 15 metres in from the far terrace side.
So the score here then on the Provident scoreboard at Ordsals reads Bradford Bulls 14, Oldham Ruffians 0. We're waiting for play to continue here. The referee is now just making sure that another Oldham player who's reckoning on that he's injured, was having a bit of tape strapped to the head. For whatever reason, Matt, again, another little bit of an innocuous tackle or an innocuous thing there. But Oldham slowing play down at every opportunity.
Yes, they are. They're tired, they're hanging on, and they're getting beaten. And I think what they're going to try and do is play some sort of spoiling tactic, Pete, in order to try and slow the Bulls down. But I think the younger Bulls' legs will just have the edge.
The wind picks up here then at the Odsal Bowl. It's certainly starting to get a little bit breezier and a little bit more gustier is that wind as we see Joe Keys with the ball looking for runners. Jordan Lilly inside pass to Oscar Thomas. Oscar Thomas beats one, then he's pinned down on 20 metres out from the Oldham try line by, again, some rough lying on Oldham tacklers there. That's no need for it. The ball then moves across the park, centre field. Jordan Lilly feeds it to John Magrin. John Magrin there gets up, plays the ball, and forces now, after another little weak kick there from Jordan Lilly, forces the Oldham players to kick out at the end of that set. So it's a first dropout in the game that we'll see Bradford Bulls get a repeat set of 6. Now we saw this last week, Mark, where Bradford got possession back and failed to score. Let's hope they've learnt from those lessons this week.
They've put the pressure on Oldham. If you can't come away with points, you come away with putting your opponents under pressure. And the best way to put pressure back on is to get a repeat set from a dropout. So let's hope they do that and then get the thinking game right and then go put Oldham back under pressure.
So Dave Hewitt then kicks deep from the Oldham end, and unfortunately that then results in the sun in the eyes of Jordan Lilly, and Lilly inexplicably a ball that any, I would say,
average,
under 9 player could have taken that, Mark.
Well, that's the problem, and that is when you're not switched on fully, because of that I've watched that happen, and I hate to say this, you know, every wax is lyrical about Jordan Lilly, and rightly so, because he's a talent, but he's not going to be a regular Super League player when he makes mistakes like that, because you can't, Pete. It's just, that should have been caught. There wasn't even an Oldham player on him, was there? Where his brain was then, I don't know. I think he was thinking of the next attacking option possibly, but that's given Oldham possession back, so from putting your opponents under pressure, now you're under pressure. 5 tackles to go, and Oldham are now 35 metres out from the Bradford line.
Yeah, well, as we said, you know, but could the Bradford Bulls capitalise on another repeat set of 6 there? Unfortunately, not that's not happened because they come up with a knock-on from the restart of the game, which now sees Oldham asking questions again of this Bradford defence as they look to post the first score of the afternoon. Siddiqui Aldibay there on from the subs bench moves the ball now out to the far stand side. That's a loose pass that sees Bradford gather, although the referee now has blown. He's indicated it's a knock-on. He will give head and feet to Bradford. So again, Oldham in another key position, Mark. And it's a bit like deja vu, this. We've seen this now 3 times so far. 2
teams at the bottom of the league, not happy with the status, not happy with things that are going on. Snatching, not thinking. Both coaches will be not happy about some of the things that have happened. Bradford should be up at the other end and putting Oldham under constant pressure, but letting Oldham off the hook with mistakes, and Oldham are doing the same thing with Bradford.
So play continues then. Ethan Ryan comes inside, taking the ball from the scrum, is met by 2 Oldham tacklers, as now we see Oscar Thomas dancing, jiggling away, trying to show that pace that he has got, and again now he's pinned down, adding a second nibble at him that wasn't needed, and again the referee has blown, given a penalty to Bradford. He really does need to get a grip of this game, Mark.
Yes, indeed, and I would just have a little word with the captains and the players about the holding on, because it's just stopping some good free-flow football, because I think Oscar Thomas would have played the ball quickly and Bradford been further up the field.
Yeah, Ross Peltier then takes the drive, is brought down by 2 Oldham defenders, as we see what was a very high tackle. The referee says the chest. Play continues with Joe Keys over on the northern terrace side. Joe Keys certainly taking the ball to the line more, which we've asked for. Sees the ball go on the inside, and then Ethan Ryan crosses in the corner. The referee gives a try. That's Ethan Ryan's first half hat-trick. Mark, totally unexpected, and what a great try again.
Well, you've got on the wing there a guy in Ethan Ryan that is an absolute master finisher. His finishing is out the top draw. It's Super League class. That try came from nothing. I think Oldham, quite frankly, Pete, would argue with the referee. I think they felt badly done to with the last decision that he gave. The ball went out to the open side, then decided to switch it to the blind side. There wasn't a great deal of room there. There was only 10 or 15 metres on the blind side, 10 metres out, and quick pair of hands. And I think it was who gave the pass. I couldn't see the 2 or 3 players that were around each other, but I think it might have been. Well, it went into the hands of Ethan Ryan anyway. Yeah. And he had a lot of James Bentley. Sorry, it was James Bentley. So there you go. The great thinking game from James Bentley. He's helped Ethan Ryan get his hat trick. Superb partnership on that far left-hand side. Ethan Ryan at that point had only about 8 metres to go, but he's on the tram line. He got a beat an Oldham player. He cut off one peg, went on to the other. Good body swerve and great finishing. Super League finishing. Ethan Ryan, just for me, needs to work on his defence and get some upper body strength to him. And he will make a Super League winger. But that was superb and very entertaining.
Well, the cheers will tell you there that Oscar Thomas has been successful with that kick from the touchline. So the scores here on the Provident scoreboard now stand: Bradford Bulls 20, Oldham 0. We have around about 12 minutes left to play of this first half, and Bradford gaining in confidence and hopefully should be able to kick on and post some more scores, certainly before this first half closes, if they continue in this vein. Jordan Lilly then gathers the ball deep inside his own half, manages to get over the 20-metre mark, and met by 2 Oldham defenders. Hopefully then he took that well, no sunshine in his eyes. Ross Peltier in there, pumping them big legs, getting them pistons going. Is Ross Peltier there, still pushing away. The ball now is met, he goes to ground. We see now an error that hands the ball back to Oldham from a Bradford sloppy pass there, Mark, for no reason.
It was a sloppy pass for no reason. 2 minutes shy of the 40-metre mark, over on the far side of the ground, under the dressing room sheds there, about 5 metres in, off the tram line, and just standing in position back to Oldham. It's a good job Oldham, a little bit out of sorts, and that's taking nothing away from Bradford, because if you were playing in London and a Featherstone and you were handing position back over, you'd be behind on the scoreboard.
Well, that's a fifth error of this first half that the Bradford Bulls have come up with against Oldham's 4 errors so far within this first half. As we see play continue now, we've got Dave Hewitt, the diminutive scrum half of Oldham, asking questions, pointing players, putting his runners where he wants them. And again, a little kick through there from Hewitt, sees the ball go to ground. Bradford managed to recover there from Ross Hawkes, and I think now we should see a settled set mark, in my opinion, a settled set of 6 that gets Bradford on the front foot and takes them forward and gets them down this
That's exactly right.
the pitch.
A good run there from Bradford, taking them up to the 40-metre mark.
Yeah, Joe Davis there, yeah. James Davis, sorry, is now on the park, etc. As the play moves to this near stand side, and we see James Mendacre and Ed Chamberlain linking up well to keep the pressure on. Oscar Thomas in field to Jordan Lilly. Jordan Lilly beats one, then is met again by three Oldham tackles on the last tackle here at Odsall. Joe Keys kick to the far stand side, looking for Ethan Ryan. What will the referee give here? A drop out to Bradford. Bradford will now get this repeat set of 6. Let's hope they can use it better than the first repeat set of 6 that they had marked previously.
Yeah, let's hope so, but Bradford putting pressure on the Oldham side, and Oldham not being able to respond really, apart from putting the ball over the back of the line. Ed Chamberlain didn't quite back himself as I would have liked to. I'm perhaps being a little bit harsh and opened his legs up because I think the ground was open for a try with some pace, but he took a different option. Maybe it was the right thing to do, because then Bradford were allowed to play again and move the ball in the centre of the field and put some pressure on the Oldham line. Didn't result in anything, but it did result in terms of points. It did result in a dropout for Oldham to Bradford, so Bradford can attack the Oldham line again.
Yeah, well, we await now for play to get underway. We currently have an injury on the Northern Terrace side, Mark. I can't actually see who's down there in
well, it's a
receiving
bull.
treatment. Yeah, it's definitely a bull.
Yeah,
the referee has gone back towards the sticks and he's just holding play up. He is speaking to the Oldham team. I don't know what his instruction is there, whether he's telling them that they've got to get back and they've got to improve the ruck area and certainly clean up the rucks that have been a bit sloppy when Oldham have been in defence. As we see,
is it Davis? I'm not too sure who is walking back.
I'll tell you in a minute. Is it Ross Oakes? I think it might be Ross Oakes.
You could be right, Pete.
Yeah,
right,
it is Ross. Yeah, it is Ross.
Okay,
he's up. He's hobbling about a bit, but he's okay. So play continues. Then another kick meets the 50 metres mark, halfway line to Oscar Thomas. Oscar Thomas then feeds Ross Peltier. Ross Peltier up to the 30-metre mark. Again, keeping everything flowing and keeping questions. Liam Kirk now on the park. Liam takes another drive, gets the Bulls over the 20-metre mark. And we're now looking what can be done here. Joe Keys looking for runners. Again, Bradford sits centre field, waiting, asking questions. Jordan Lilly there, dancing, beats one, feeds the ball back to Sam Alice. Sam Alice off then on another pass there that results in Bradford getting tackled 5 metres out from the try line. Again, we go to the far stand side and the Bulls are over again. The referee has said that's a forward pass and ruled that one out. So Ross Oakes, from being down injured, thought then that he'd definitely got a try, and unfortunately the referee has said that's a forward pass. So an error that basically, it has cost the Bulls a try mark.
It has. He was forward, and just a lack of thinking. You've just got to, as you know, Pete, you take the pass, you've got to turn your body slightly backwards so that you're not forcing yourself to pass the ball forward. Didn't quite move his waist as he should have, so the ball went backwards and just not quite right, but difficult to do at speed, but just not quite there. These are the things that make the difference between being bottom of the league and being halfway up on the top of the league. You've got to practice these things and get these things right, but I think Bradford Bulls well in control, and it's not uncoincidental, Pete, that since the Oldham Scott Leatherbarrow went off, they've not been the same, have they?
No. It's interesting to see that obviously Scott Leatherbarrow went down early in the game with an injury and obviously has then gone off the park. And Oldham basically, again, relying on Dave Hewitt to try
and get them over the line.
To try and get them over the line and to try and push them about. And you've got Steve Neild coming in and joining in. Oldham now with possession on the halfway line as they look to ask questions of this Bradford defence and get a first score of the game. What can they do here? That looks slightly forward. The crowd say forward. The referee says no. Let's get on with it. Oldham now up to the 20 metre, over the 20 metre mark, sit about 17 metres away from the Bradford Bulls try line. Ross Peltier there looked at the referee, and the referee said, well, you're not getting off him, I've told you to get up, and it's now given away a penalty in a key area that I'm sure Oldham will look to exploit, and they do. A quick play of the ball. Could this be the first score of the game for the Oldham Ruffians? We will wait and see. Oldham now move the ball from the far stand side, come up with an error that should see Bradford regather the ball and relieve the pressure. Mark, again, deja vu.
Deja vu it was indeed. And Oldham were, 12 minutes out from the Bradford line, 15 minutes in from this main Tetley stand side. They forced the pass, really, went too low, a bit of a bomb pass, went to the floor. Bradford picks it up gratefully, and Bradford now attacking Oldham up almost to the halfway line.
Yeah,
they are on the halfway line. James
Mendika then linking in well with Ed Chamberlain for the Bradford Bulls. The ball moves to the centre part. Joe Keys there took a bit of a flying pass, and he's wrapped up bang on the centre spot as Sam Alice goes in at acting half, feeds the ball to Jordan Lilly. Jordan Lilly kicks downfield. Will that find touch? Yes, Oldham just letting that run into touch so they can get some breath in and regather the troops and regather and think about the game plan, what they need to do. Bradford, on the other hand, are in a little bit of the ascendancy here, Mark, as the Provident scoreboard still says Bradford 20, Oldham 0. And I think we have around about 6 minutes left to play of this first half, Mark, if I'm not mistaken. So
it's good for Bradford. It's good. They've attacked well. They've run with enthusiasm. The tries to score to be very entertaining for the crowd. The last try from Ethan Ryan came out of nothing. We didn't even think there was anything on. They've just made one or two errors that Tuvey won't be happy about. But I'm sure if they put those to bed, then it'd be nice to see them nil a team today, because I think that'd be something that would be very special. Whether they can do that or not, I don't know. But there's a lot more rugby league left in this game. But for once we can say, the Bradford Bulls 20, the visitors 0, Oldham.
So play continues then as Oldham look, asking questions there of the Bradford defence, and Bradford able to stand resolute there and bring down Kenny Hughes, who's having a bit of a run there, etc. He's now in acting half. Is Kenny Hughes, feeds the ball as they have done on many occasions there to Steve Neal. Steve Neal pumps the ball up high, asking questions of Oscar Thomas. Surely the Oldham player there was offside as he come through there to pin Oscar Thomas down. Cameron Pierce-Paul of Oldham there. But again, the referee has said no, let's play continue. Bradford sits centre field then, just shy of the 20 metre mark, as we see the ball move into the northern stand terrace side. Mark, can Bradford push this possession now?
Yes, they've got to. I think Bradford have got to do more of what they've done well in patches, and that is take on the line through Keys and Lilly, with the runners obviously on that far side. Bentley and Ryan have bossed it that little bit, and Peltier's taken them forward very, very well since he's come on the field. He's playing well. Yeah,
Ross Peltier then pumping his legs, manages to get Bradford over the halfway line as we see Joe Keys kick for touch. Now, the Oldham player has said that didn't bounce before it went into touch. However, he's been overruled by the touch judge on the northern terrace side. The referee's in agreement with the touch judge, does hand the feed at the scrum to Oldham. So again, Oldham really have no cause for complaint there, Mark.
Not at all. I think the referee's has had a reasonable performance today. You could argue that Oldham have held on a couple of times, or 3 times more than they should have done. They're offside to play the ball, but that's a team that's no excuse for it. That's played a lot of games in a short period of time. But then we've got Bradford offside now to play the ball, so the penalty going to Oldham as they were about to drive the ball away from their own 20 metre mark in the middle of the field. They now get the penalty and kick it about 15 metres. So Oldham in possession on the 40 metre mark of their own half, and they'll play the ball under the Tetley stand side here, and they won't because the referee stopped play.
Gene Ormsby then with ball in hand as the wind picks up here at Odsall. The sun is out. It is a little bit blustery though, and the wind is certainly starting to gather momentum as we sit here and wait for play to continue. Gene Ormsby gives the ball to Cameron Pierce-Paul. Pierce-Paul plays the ball to get us back underway. Oldham just shy of the halfway line. Mikel Alaleski there putting in a bit of a bone-crunching tackle on Jack Spencer of Oldham. Play continues. Ross Peltier doing the graft, not also making the yards, but also good in defence there, getting back and helping his teammates out as Oldham will look to find a chink in the Bradford Bull armour that so far stood firm to this Oldham onslaught on this occasion. And again, now we see Dave Hewitt drop the ball for no reason whatsoever. Again, an innocuous pass that basically, Mark, anybody should have taken that.
It isn't good from Oldham. They're not in a good place. Take nothing away from the Bradford Bulls. They're playing better. They're certainly playing a lot better than the last time I saw them. I missed last week's game. That little bit more sense of urgency. I think the conditions for Bradford are superb. I think Oxford pitch is brilliant, and I think the young Bull legs can run Oldham off the field. I think they're a little bit more nimble, that a little bit quicker, and I think we should see a Bradford Bulls victory here today, and let's hope so. But a long way to go yet in this game, a long way to go.
So here we are then, deep into the first half here at the Provident Stadium with the Bradford Bulls versus the Oldham Ruffians on BCB 106.6 FM, brought to you in association with Provident, supporting Bull supporters home and away, as we see Bradford now, ball in hand on the 40-metre line, looking to increase on this 20-0 score. Ross Peltier bursts the tackle, he's striding forward, he's still going, Ross manages to get the ball away. I don't know who that was meant to be for, because there was nobody there, and a bit of a sloppy pass that actually puts the Bulls further back. However, we see Ed Chamberlain feed the ball to James Mendika. James Mendika runs a good 15 metres there towards the try line. He's brought down by the Oldham scrambling defence. Oscar Thomas feeds the ball back inside to Jordan Lilly. Jordan Lilly now will go back and play the ball.
Yeah, he's ball carrying harm at the deck. He got up and played and ran away, did he, Jordan Lilly?
Yeah, which again gives Oldham a little bit of a breathing space. Joe Keys looks to find a chink in the Oldham harbour, puts another kick in, which will see Bradford get a third dropout of this game. So Bradford now certainly looking to finish this first half the stronger. I reckon we're in the final minute here, Mark, and again another little split kick from Joe Keys, who's certainly finding the hole in that Oldham defence on that Northern Terrace side.
Yes, he is indeed, and that's what it's all about, varying your play, making your opponent's defence work hard, have to chase back and chase across, play to your strengths and your opponent's weaknesses. Oldham's weaknesses, they're a little bit flat-footed, a little bit leaden-footed, a bit tired, and they are just getting caught out positionally and leaving gaps in their defensive line.
Dave Hewitt then kicks the ball from the Oldham goal line, drops it out, it goes over the halfway line, it's gathered by Jordan Lilly. Jordan Lilly then feeds Liam Kirk, and Bradford have got a drop goal on half-time, Mark, that none of us expected. I don't even know who kicked that. So Jordan Lilly then places the ball on the kicking tee, just bang centre of this Odsal pitch, as we await for the referee to give the signal and play gets underway here in this second half. A nice kick there, deep from Jordan Lilly, sees Oldham take the ball on their own 10-metre line and come up just shy of the 20-metre line there from Sam Wood, who's basically met by three Bradford defenders there out in the middle of the park, Mikkel Alaleski being one of them and Liam Kirk being the other. As play continues, Oldham looking now again to try and find a little bit of a toehold in this game. Whether they'll look to move the ball and complete a set of 6 or have 5 drives and kick on the last set remains to be seen, because they've so far come up with error after error when they have been in good positions and had the ball in where they shouldn't have really lost the momentum. It's the 5th tackle now. They will kick on this 5th tackle as we see Dave Hewitt push the ball towards the corner, find his touch. Oscar Thomas lets that run into touch, which will be a scrum down, and see head and feed Andy back to the Bradford Bulls. Mark.
Yeah, head and feed to the Bradford Bulls on the 10-metre mark of their own half, 10 metres in from the far open terrace side, and Bradford need to bring this football all the way up to the half line and then let's see what they can do to entertain the crowd, because we often forget it is about winning, but we are in the entertainment business, and Ethan Ryan's hat-trick has been worthy of the entrance money alone, so let's see what the Bulls can do.
So play continues then as we see Liam Kirk there take the ball from the resultant scrum. Again now Ross Peltier will look to get those big legs of his going. He's a big man, is Ross Peltier. Really should be able to throw himself into this in attack whenever he's got the ball and burst the defence as they come towards him. Now we see Bradford 35 metres out from their own try line. Play goes over to that northern stand terrace side. Another high tackle there, and the referee, is he going to take some action here? Because again, there was no need for that, Mark, and just unmerited by Oldham.
Well, Jordan Lilly had got the ball and about 5 minutes short of the halfway line. He shouldn't go. They tapped him around the ankles and put him to ground, and then they flop over the top. You would have thought there'd been a warning from the referee at some stage. He doesn't appear to be doing that. He's just penalising Oldham, which has given Bradford more field position, which is good. Let's see what Bradford Bulls can do with it.
Yeah, Liam Kirk then brought down 35 metres out from the Oldham try line as play continues. Mikhail Alaleski there just pushing over the Jordan Lilly in the tackle. Oscar Thomas comes into the line as we see James Bentley there, fed by Oscar Thomas, looking again. James Bentley showing a little bit of dazzling feet to try and get the Bulls going forward. Oscar Thomas feeds the ball on this, on the Ruley Lane side here as the ball goes back inside Joe Keys to Ross Peltier. Ross Peltier beats one. He's then met by 4 Oldham defenders who bring him down 5 metres out from the Oldham try line. They're now looking as Jordan Lilly, to try and open up the defence of Oldham. And again, that set just fizzles out, Mark, for inexplicable reasons. Why didn't they put the ball up high?
Well, I'm just about to say to you, I'd have been captain down that field. I said in the air, and I said one in the air, or I'd done it in code so the opponents didn't know. Yes, because the grubber kicks the ground's all right, but you're doing it time after time after time. The opponents read it, Peter. And when there's nothing on, there's a lot of legs around the ball. You tend not to get the ball back. You didn't get the bounce there. It should have gone in the air. You're absolutely right. Yeah,
so we see Colton Roach now on the park for the start of this second half. Oldham kicking deep, turning the Bradford Bulls round. We'll see Ethan Ryan collect this deep inside the Bulls own half. He goes now on a mazy run across the defensive line, does manage to elude one tackler, but it's then quickly gathered up by another further 2 Oldham tacklers on the just sort of like midfield mark of this Odsal pitch. Oscar Thomas now coming in and taking a little bit of a run to relieve the pressure off his forwards. Bradford just short of the halfway line. James Bentley now ball in hand, manages to go over the halfway line, pushes off one tackler, but he's eventually brought down on the 4th tackle. We now see Ross Peltier here. Ross turning, bobbing, weaving, still going forward, not actually pinned down yet. The referee's now called out on the 5th tackle as we now see Joe Keys put the ball in the air, which is what we were looking for before. Oldham managed to take a little bit of confusion in the Oldham line there as the fullback Stephen Neal come out to take the ball, and Adam Clay also in there to take the ball. A little bit of communication which could have resulted in an error, but unfortunately didn't for Bradford. As play continues here at the Provident Stadium, we are live on BCB Radio, brought to you by Provident, supporting Bradford Bulls supporters home and away in 2017. Bit of a loose pass there from Oldham as a tackle was made. Bradford really do need to switch on here, Mark, and get out of these starting blocks, because I think if they can close this Oldham team down and be quick in defence and stop Oldham with any advantage, and we see a forward pass there. But as I was saying there, Mark, Bradford, rather than hanging back and giving the advantage, you know, you've got 10 metres between you. If you're only going 3 and your opponents are coming 7, you're losing that advantage. Whereas Bradford can get out of the starting blocks and start getting to maybe 6 metres off, 7 metres, and get the advantage back. I think then you'll see that this Oldham side really haven't got much else in the locker.
No, I don't think they have. I think since Scott Leatherbarrow went off, I think you're right. The Bradford line speed needs to be that bit quicker. And, the fans are happy because it looks like the Bradford Bulls are going to get the 2 points they need to help in the bid to avoid going down into the lower division. And the scrum here on the 30-metre mark of the Oldham half, almost in the centre of the field. Let's see if Bradford put a move on, and let's see what they can do. But Oldham not looking good since Leatherbarrow went off, looking defunct of ideas.
Jordan Lilly then feeds a scrum, the ball comes out. Mikhail Alaleski comes into the line, chimes into the line. A great run there from this young starlet of the future. As we see Sam Alice then in at acting half. Sam Alice looking to get Liam Kirk going forward. Kirk manages to get the Bulls up to the 10-metre line. Joe Keys moves the ball out there to the Bradford attacking play of James Davis, I think it is, that's just gone down. But again, we see the ball in hand to Ross Peltier. Ross Peltier, unfortunately, has just knocked on in a position there where I thought that Ross Peltier was going to actually get over the line. He'd only twist and reach out, and I think that's what he was trying to do, but he lost possession, Mark.
I think Ross Peltier's enthusiasm is to be applauded, but he's not got the skill sets to go in and take the ball first time, all the time when you're attacking. I'd have kept Ross Peltier out of that move there and let that go to the backs. And that's not a criticism of him, it's just a technical observation. He's not got the hands, he can't spin his body, but he's been Bradford's best go forward. He's gained more meterage since he came on. I would think, I haven't looked at that start, than any of the Bradford forwards, so you can't knock him. But I think sometimes the forwards need to get out of the way. Trying to barge through all the time is not always the best option.
He does remind me, Mark, when I think back, he does remind me of a bit of a Jeff Gratian type figure, you know, where he was great going forward. But you just know that he wouldn't look to turn his body to give you the ball, no matter where you were.
That's a skill not many forwards have, and there are a few that have been able to do it over the years. Lee Crooks was a master at it. You know, Carl Fairbank was good at it. Paul Dixon was good at it. But I'm taking nothing away from Ross Peltier. He's played very, very well since he came on.
Yeah, certainly has. Play continues then here at the Provident Stadium as Bradford now in possession through Ethan Ryan, 10 metres shy of their own try line. Oldham there still lying on in defence, which the referee again just saying, come on, let's speed up this play of the ball. Joe Keys knocks on then.
They're just going to sleep the Bradford Bulls a bit, and that's because they just lose that little bit of shape, they lose that little bit of lose momentum, because there's nobody getting hold of them and shouting and bawling and shouting out the instructions in the middle of the park, you know, and that's, they're in control, and I don't think they're going to lose. But that passage of play for last time is actually quite poor. Against the top side, you get murdered playing like that. They've got to improve that. There's no shape, there's no structure. They're not quite talking to each other. So it's not been the best performance from the Bradford Bulls, but a lot better. And 2 points if they get them in the next 30 minutes or so. And I think they will. They'll be well deserved and needed.
So play continues. The referee, the pat down, the ball went in the scrum. He's then blown the whistle and said no, he's not happy with that. I apologise to Joe Keys. I said Joe Keys knocked on. It wasn't Joe Keys, it was actually Ed Chamberlain. Ross Peltier has now left the field after his great work stint and great work ethic. I dare say he may come back on towards the latter stages of this game, as Oldham now encamped on the Bradford Bulls 10-metre line as they look to move the ball through Dave Hewitt. And again, a bit of a sloppy play, but Oldham now go over the try line. What's the referee going to say here? He's held up on his back. So, again, Mark, from a bit of a scrappy play, the Bulls' defence not quite reading it right.
Well, if I was the captain, I'd be shouting and barking and spinning feathers, because I'll tell you why. From controlling the football, through not having the shape and structure, from not thinking properly, they've put themselves under pressure when they're in control of the football up here. You've got to think about what you're doing, and they couldn't even let Oldham in here.
Quick hands then from Oldham. Oldham growing in confidence. We'll see Oldham post their first... Oh no, the referee said it's a knock on. The actual Bulls players gather together, congratulate the likes of James Bentley. Jordan Lilly running from one side of the field there to throw his arms around Sam Alice and say, well done teammate, well done. And this is the kind of confidence that the Bradford team need. And the fans starting to get behind the team. There's a roar of come on you Bulls that I've not heard for a while here at Ottelmar actually going up.
It's coming back a little bit, and today's victory will, if they get the victory, will help. And James Bentley's had a good game. He reads the game very well. I think he's got a big future.
Certainly does.
Him and Ethan Ryan, for me, very, very, very impressive with their individual skill sets. And James Bentley thinks about what he's going to do, and he puts his body on the line. I'm very, very pleased to say that I think he'll be a future good player, very, very good player.
So the kick from Jordan Lilly then finds touch just shy of the halfway line. The referee now gives Bradford a penalty for another head-eye tackle. And again, when is the referee going to speak to this Oldham team out and basically say, look, you know, that's now 3 on the bounce for all, you know, for the same infringement.
Yeah.
That you've got to stop it.
I think if Oldham were a slightly different team and they were slightly more aggressive in the style like Featherstone, I think you'd have seen a bit of fisticuffs, but they're not that way inclined. They look a bit jaded today, and rightly so after the games have played. But the referee should be talking to us, saying something to the sin bin. But in the meantime, Bradford Bulls have got the ball peaked, 10 minutes out from the Oldham line. Let's hope they come away with some points.
Yep, certainly have. So we see John Magrin there take a drive as play continues. Joe Keys asking questions, looking for support runners. Unfortunately, none there for him. Carlton Roach arriving a little bit too late for Joe Keys to get the ball away. Sam Alice then to Carlton Roach. Carlton Roach out to James Bentley. James Bentley out to Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan dives in out the corner. He should score. He does score in the corner for a fantastic winger's try, Mark.
Fabulous winger's try. Very good and out of nothing. Nowhere to move, nowhere to go. That takes hours and hours and hours of practice on the training ground. The ball came to him. He was almost stood still. He had a lot of work to do. There were two Oldham defenders around him. He dived like a swallow towards the fly. He spun in the air. He touched the ball down. He missed the corner flag, but that doesn't matter these days. And he got the ball over the line. That takes skill and talent and athleticism that a lot of players don't have. And that gives him his fourth try, which for me makes him the man of the match.
Oh yeah, such early stages. 19 minutes gone of this second half, and yet Ethan Ryan with his fourth try of the day, and certainly putting in a man of the match performance. And that try there, Mark, I can't wait to see that back on the videos or the replays, etc. that we'll get to see.
It came from nothing, didn't it?
It came from nothing. But how he actually positioned himself, he gathered the ball and then fully twisted himself, and like you say, he was like a swallow diving down.
Yeah.
He saw where the gap was, and that was it. He was in.
Incredible. Yeah, that's not just rugby league. That's gymnastics as well, isn't it? And you can't just do that. You've got to practice that, haven't you? Time and time and time again.
Definitely. Ethan Ryan then, bags of talent, as we've said, can score tries when given the opportunity and can score spectacular tries. He has scored some spectacular ones this season. Oscar Thomas kicks the goal. Unfortunately, that one just falls a little bit short of the upright mark. So Oscar Thomas starts his half with a little bit of an indifference kicking. Obviously, he finished the first half with a drop goal that none of us anticipated. Unable to convert there. The Provident scoreboard shows Bradford Bulls 25. The visitors Oldham still on 0. Mark, is this going to be the victory that Bradford have sought for so long?
Yeah, I think it is, and I think what would please Jeff Tuvey would be to go and score more points now and nil Oldham as well, because it means you've kept your line intact. And that's a big thing in rugby league. It's a big psychological thing. And I think the Bradford Bulls must do that. Well, they don't have to do it. They've just got to win. But I think it'd be good if they could. And let's see some more free-flowing rugby and entertain the fans. Because the fans have not had a great deal to cheer about, because this will be the first victory since, I believe, April the 9th, which is a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it was the last when they played and beat Sheffield. Was the last victory. So the referee now has blown, and he's going to give a scrum down head and feed to Oldham. I think he said that Bradford were they caught offside, Matt, or were they?
I think they must have been. Caught offside. I'm not too sure, because I couldn't see what he was doing there.
No. Well, as far as I was concerned, we were watching the play. Bradford were in possession. The referee then blew for no apparent reason, and he's called a scrum down.
A knock on from a Bradford player, but I couldn't see that. But we are about 60 metres away.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, Oldham now, ball in hand, moving the ball, centre sticks there. Benjamin Davis asking questions of this Bradford defence for the Oldham team, as we see Oldham continue here and still wanting to post a score here against the Bradford Bulls. Could that be a loose pass, which it is, but the referee has gone for a knock on, and again James Bentley and Ethan Ryan linking up well there to get the error and get the ball back for Bradford. Force the error from the Oldham team when Oldham were in a decent position there. And as we see, Sam Wood looking for what would have been Oldham's opening try, knocks on Mark as he goes towards the line.
Yeah, the Oldham coach will be he'll be really annoyed, won't he, with the performance from his team, because there was an open line. Then you've got to question where the Bradford defence was on the left hand side. And a good side would have penalised Bradford if they scored 2 or 3 more tries there from those defensive lapses from Bradford, but Oldham haven't been able to do it. Good scrambling defence, again Bentley in the way there. but it was where the Bradford players were. They were caught out, but Oldham not in sorts at all today. Looked jaded and looked tired. Yeah. And but taking a long way from Bradford, they have worked hard, and they're going to come away with a victory. I'm certain of that. But let's hope they can put on the style in this next 24 minutes or so.
Yeah, let's hope that it can be a bit of a grandstand finish for Bradford, and they can certainly put some more points on this board to help the points for and against, the points differential, if that's needed at some point.
Well, it may well be, mightn't it? That's a good point, because this is going to go right down to the wire, I think.
Yeah.
I think if they lost today, the Bradford Bulls, and if they do lose today, I think it's over. But this is the lifeline they needed, and this might be the start to the season the Bradford Bulls needed.
Oh, we see a fantastic ball now from Bradford Bulls as they race up the field over the 20-metre mark. We're going to see a try here, and what a great score there for, I believe it is
Ed Chamberlain, is it?
Ed Chamberlain, yeah, who, again, from nothing, Mark, the Bulls managed to split the defence. Joe Keys again found a little gap, looked who was there left and right to see who was supporting him, managed to find James Mendacre. James Mendacre managed then to move the ball and race 20 metres before offloading to Ed Chamberlain, that sees Ed Chamberlain score. I believe that's his second try now in the Bradford colours, on loan from Widnes, and again certainly starting to enjoy life at Bradford. What a great try.
Fabulous try from Bradford there, Pete. It went, some 50-60 metres, didn't it, with Keys finding the gap. The runner there on his right-hand side was Mendacre. When a player runs into a gap, you know you've got half a chance. He ran at speed. Mendacre realised, after going slightly over towards the tram lines, that he didn't have the legs to go the full length of the way. He taunted the Oldham defence. Not a double pump, not a single pump, but he showed him a ball slightly, just feinted it. They bought it. When they bought it, he moved it to his right-hand side. A move he's only going to support player. The support player was Ed Chamberlain. He ran round the tram lines, round the back, shut his pace, round the back of the Oldham defence, and took the ball down.
Yeah, definitely. Oscar Thomas then does kick that one, opens his account in the second half to push the Bulls further ahead. The score here on the Provident scoreboard now stands at Bradford Bulls 31, Oldham 0.
Well, that's just what the Bradford Bulls needed, and to move them further in front. You would say they've got this game won now. Let's hope they can control it and play well, and not keep the mistakes down to a minimum. Oh, and just the minute I say that, what did Bradford do? The weak pass where there was no need to do two. I think it was to James Davis. Yeah. He didn't know it was coming. He dropped the ball on the floor.
He does, and Oldham able to capitalise on it through Sadiq Adibaye, who's on loan from London, as I've said. Oldham now will look to try and at least take something. They do manage to get a penalty. The referee there has pulled Bradford for offside. It is getting a little bit pushy, shovey out there for no reason. Other than the fact I think Oldham are a little bit frustrated here. Adibaye then with the ball towards the centre field for Oldham, met by three tacklers from the Bradford Bulls, who again just managed to keep him down long enough to allow the referee and allow the defensive line to get set. That looked a little bit forward. The referee says no, play on. Again, Kenny Hughes of Oldham down on the floor, looking to milk something that is possibly not there from the, trying to old man the referee. Again, Oldham managed to keep Bradford pinned on this line. We see the likes of Kenny Hughes again trying to push the ball over. He does come up with a knock on. The Bulls players again rushing to congratulate one another. What a great team spirit that they're certainly showing today. Jordan Lilly again bringing everyone together. They're all clapping, they're all patting one another on the back. This means so much to them, Mark.
It does mean so much to them, and obviously at this time of the year, Pete, it's contract time, and who's coming, who's going. That must make things very difficult for the Bulls, given the position they're in, etc., etc., etc. There's one thing you've got to do. You've got to play well, because you want to retain your position in the team, and also you're playing maybe for a contract where you've got wages for next season. So Michael Ward dropping the ball there, I think it was, and Bradford Bulls defending well.
So the ball goes in then from the scrum. It comes out. It's brought out by Bradford, who managed to get over the 10-metre line. James Bentley there taking a bit of a drive and taking a bit of an edge shot, but the referee now will ping for a second offence there on Jordan Lilly, another head-eye shot, Mark. And again, I think that's the fifth one now that he's pulled Oldham for and given a penalty. So surely he must be able to see what's happening. All the fans here can see what's happening. Why isn't he speaking to Oldham?
I'm amazed at what referees do in the modern day game. Absolutely amazed. But it hasn't resulted in a mass brawl or anything stupid. I don't think Oldham have the energy for that. With all due respect to them, they're more frustrated than anything else. But you're absolutely right. It's naivety on the referee's part. Liam
Kirk then with the ball, brings the ball centre field. Jordan Lilly linking in, looking for support players. Is actually pinned down there by, actually managed to offload to Joe Keys. Joe Keys was then tackled down by, again, another Oldham defence that's basically lying on. We now see Bradford moving towards the Oldham, just 15 metres out of the Oldham try line. Sam Alice there, again, looking questions. Jordan Lilly moves the ball. Very, very quick through hands. Joe Davis now, James Davis with the ball. Dickie Davis, as he's known to his teammates here. And again, another little kick from Jordan Lilly.
Would you not just, I'm being critical now, Pete, would you just not vary that option a little bit? And like you say, maybe 2 kicks on the floor, 1 in the air, then another 1 in the air, maybe a 2. You know what I mean? Would you just not vary that little bit?
Well, Mark, you're not being critical. You're being observational there, yeah. And you and I both know
it doesn't matter against this side, but against a team like Featherstone or who kicks your balls, handing possession back so easily is lethal, isn't it?
It is. And again, when you have the scoring opportunity, as Bradford would have, certainly looked to have there, why not test them? Why not put it up in the air? And why not switch it? Yeah. Why not switch it? Why not get a big man on an inside ball, on a crash ball, and take them on? Ethan Ryan now regathers after Oldham didn't manage to gain any real yardage there from the sets of 6 that they had. Joe Keys in at acting half feeds Oscar Thomas. Oscar Thomas looks to crab his way across the field. He's brought down by the Oldham defence, and now we see James Davis again take another drive as Scott Moore enters the field again. Now Joe Keys wrapped up in a bone-crunching tackle. Scott Moore will come on, as I've said, and he'll look now to use his influence, manages to take the ball there, gets the ball moving. Jordan Lilly wrapped up centre field on the 5th and last tackle. A little bit more enterprising here from Bradford. What will they do again? They go for the little kick. The referee gives it back to 1. This will be 6 more to go for Bradford. Could this be another try mark in the waiting?
It could and it should be, and let's hope it is. And the Bradford Bulls need something to smile about, and the fans do as well. And I'm sure they'll go over now.
Well, he's just held up short there. Is Ross Oakes on the Northern Terrace side. Scott Moore lofts to offload to Jordan Lilly. Jordan Lilly to Sam Hallis. Sam Hallis there is brought down, probably just 5 short of the try line. Jordan Lilly, lovely little diving run, manages to get the Bulls 2 metres out from this Oldham try line. Scott Moore in there, bit of a sloppy pass. Joe Keys has to go back. Joe Keys now looking for a runner, splits the defence. Unfortunately, not read there by the second man, Sam Neal, but does manage to get a penalty as Dave Hewitt comes in afterwards, and again just gives Joe Keys one for his troubles.
He does indeed, and that's what 10 minutes out from the Oldham line. Just a quick mention to Stu Wilson in Canada that's listening, Pete. Thanks for listening, Stu, and hopefully we'll have a victory for you, and our best regards go out to you there in Canada.
Yeah, well, echoing Mark's thoughts there, we do welcome all your feedback, and we do really enjoy our listeners getting involved with us here at BCB. And again, it's down for you guys. We do this show for you, and obviously we love your input. As Bradford now do score on the Northern Terrace side to push further ahead. It was Ed Chamberlain, I do believe, that's managed to go in for what would be his second try of the afternoon. And again, from nothing play, Mark, from a little bit of a lulling period there, where nothing seemed to be on, Bradford managed to cross the line.
Fabulous stuff from the Bradford Bulls, enthusiasm, determination, and enjoying themselves out there. And when you're playing with a smile on your face, and the opposition is a little bit scared of you in terms of the defensive frailties, then you can score points, and away you go. Another try from the Bradford Bulls. The Provident Stadium scoreboard moves on, and away you go. Jamie, mentioned most biased commentary I've ever heard. Of course it is, with Bradford Bulls people. But I don't think you're listening properly, Jamie, with all due respect to you. But thanks for listening anyway, because I've just criticised the Bradford Bulls about 4 times in the last 5 minutes. So I don't know whether you're an Oldham fan or whatever, but thanks for listening. Your comments are appreciated. And yes, we are a little bit biased, but I have criticised the Bradford Bulls today, if that's right word to you.
Well, I haven't got a bias bone in my body, Mark. So,
no, it's me. I'm terrible.
Yeah,
but there you go.
I'm not going to take offence to that anyway, you know. But again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion,
Yeah,
and like I say, we do welcome your feedback. And at least it shows that you're listening to us and you care about what we say, and you're actually enjoying it if you want to participate.
I think it's fantastic, Pete. We shouldn't all agree with each other all the time, because what a boring place the world would be.
Definitely.
And I love people's opinions, and I'm not always right, far from it. But it's what I commentate on what I see. I think I have enough experience in the game to explain it. People don't agree with me. Fine, tell me so. It's great. Let's have some banter. It's wonderful. It's what rugby league's all about.
Okay, Oscar Thomas then failed with that conversion. So the Provident scoreboard now reads Bradford Bulls 35, Oldham Ruffians 0. As play continues here now, James Mendacre actually scoring the try there out wide on the previous exploits of the Bulls as they forayed into the Oldham half. As we now see Liam Kirk trying to get some momentum going, is met by 4 tacklers, still very slow to clear the ruck there. Looking at the referee, saying, come on, we want to try and speed this play of the ball up. As we see now, Carlton Roach looking again, saying, come on, referee, you know, they're not allowing us to play the ball. And again, it's something that needs to happen. We see a great kick there that finds touch, it deep into the Oldham half now. The referee has said, and he's given possession back to Bradford there, Mark.
Well, that is extraordinary, unless it came off an Oldham
yeah,
body.
Well, he did indicate to his leg that it...
Yeah.
He did indicate to his leg that it must have hit an Oldham player. Will Jordan Lilly cross for a try? Jordan Lilly, unfortunately, is met by some resolute Oldham defence there, and I thought he'd gone in there for a try, but not on this occasion, as Bradford keep the ball alive. John Magrin now pumping those legs, driving towards the sticks, and keeping the Oldham defence on its toes. Is now 5 metres out as Scott Moore, the old campaigner Scott Moore, comes in. With a little kick there that ends up in the hands of Adam Clay for Oldham, managing now to clear the area and to alert or divert the Bradford attack as they look to try and post another 2 points on this bit of a lacklustre Oldham team, and that's the only word that I can use to sum up this performance.
Yeah,
it's been very indifferent.
I think, to be fair to them, Mick, they've tried hard. Losing Leatherbarrow was a big blow. I don't say that would have made a difference to the result today. They've played a lot of games, haven't they? Have I got this right? I think I have. I think it's 4 games in a fortnight they've played.
Yeah.
Which is a lot, isn't it, for a part-time side? But, you know, take nothing away from the young guns. They've been enthusiastic, and they have shown the skill sets when they've been allowed to do the Bradford Bulls, and they've created some opportunities. The pitch is again in fantastic condition, and it's rendered itself to great attacking rugby league football. And I think that's where Bradford probably have the best strength on the flanks, with the young guns that can run, and they've got to keep the ball away from the bigger packs. But we've got tougher games to come, but it doesn't matter. We'll gain some confidence from this, and hopefully put in some good performance against Halifax, Hull KR, and people further up the league. 12 minutes left then on the clock on the Provident scoreboard, as Oldham now in possession, looking now through Gene Ormsby to certainly make some yardage, and Gene Ormsby there is making some yardage up the park, manages to get over the 30-metre mark and still going, as we see Dave Levitt link into the play and feed the ball out to Sam G. Sam G manages to cross on, and Oldham have scored. So from nothing, suddenly Oldham managed to post the first points of the game. And Mark, nothing was on there. The Bulls defence can only be charged with switching off at a crucial time, allowing Dave Hewitt to send in Sam G. Yeah, Bradford Bulls switched off there, and Oldham finally go over the line, and I suppose it's reward for competing in this game and trying. And Bradford Bulls defence switched off. Tuvey won't be happy about that. That's a little bit of slight mark, a slight blot on the copybook. But Hewitt putting in the runner and going around the side of the Bradford defence. They have looked a little bit vulnerable on this left-hand side in defence in the second half. Not in attack, but in defence. They've been caught out 3-on-2 about 4 times, and I thought that try might have come eventually, but it did. And just switching off, you've got to stay switched on all the time, even against sides around you in the league, at the bottom of the league. What does that tell you about teams at the top of the league? Then you can't switch off at all.
No, it's an 80-minute game, Mark, and unfortunately you can't. You've got to keep that. You've got to keep that momentum going. The scoreboard might put you 35 points ahead of the opposition, but you cannot afford to switch off at any time and allow any advantage to the opposition, and that's a crucial factor, and that's what makes a good team a fantastic team and a successful team.
Indeed, yeah, but ruthlessness.
Yeah, but again, a critical point there, and I think that might be the only blot on the copybook so far today, Mark, as we see Jordan Lilly restart the play, kicking deep into the sunshine-lit face of Adam Clare. Adam Clare brings the ball, manages to get over the 10-metre line. He's met by Ross Peltier and James Davis there in defence, and again asking questions of this Bradford defence now, and certainly looking a little bit more eager now they know they can find their way to the try line, Mark.
They can indeed, and they'll just put a spring in the Oldham step, and it'll, I wouldn't say please the coach, not please the coach, but put a little bit of something into him, something to hang on to for next week. He'll be glad when this hot round of games are over, or hot period of a fortnight for them is over, because they can now settle down and have a bit of a rest. But the Bradford Bulls must now dig deep, and in the last 9 minutes really put Oldham to the sword, and let's see what Bradford are made of, and leave the crowd with thoughts on a high, and from maybe scoring a good try.
Yeah, well, I think that if Bradford do manage to hang on to the win as they should do here, then it will certainly send this decent Odsal crowd home happy. We do see a mistake there from Oldham, and we see a Bradford Bulls player, I think it's James Mendika, over on that far side, who has taken one for his troubles there, Mark.
I think he has taken one for his troubles. He's got a bit of cramp as well, and Oldham just trying to force it and get the try. The game's well gone for them now. I don't think they can get anywhere near Bradford Bulls. 35 to the Bulls, 6 to the visitors on the Provident scoreboard. The play will reset with a scrum on the 30-metre mark, 15 metres in from the open terrace side, and I think it's head and feet to Oldham. I think Bradford knocked the ball on, or did it go into touch? I think the ball went into touch, didn't it? Sorry, it did go into touch off a Bradford player's hand. Yeah. I think yes, it is Oldham to feed it. So Oldham obviously trying to score some more points and make it look a little bit more respectable. But overall, not a bad performance from the Bradford today. It didn't matter really how they played. They needed 2 points badly.
That's it. It's an old adage, isn't it? You can play terrible and still get the win.
Yes.
It's and certainly it's the win that was needed today. That hopefully may just galvanise his team now. After this, there's 4 games left in the league, and it gives them another 2 points to push for next week in what will be a sterner test against Halifax. Let's not kid ourselves,
that
Mark.
Will be harder.
You know what I mean? And some of the mistakes that we've seen today from Bradford, where they've
Halifax
switched off.
will punish them.
Yeah, a better team, as you say, will punish them. Fatigue, tiredness. This. The amount of games that Oldham have played recently, obviously going to have an effect at some point. But again, I still think that Bradford have been able to come up with some special players here, Mark.
Yeah,
and certainly exploit Oldham at times. Dave Hewitt, kicks the ball, and it ricochets off a Bradford player.
He's given a try.
He collects the ball, does Dave Hewitt, and Dave Hewitt goes in at the side of the sticks there for another score for Oldham. So, just as we were saying, Mark, about defensive switching off, Sam Alice there guilty of not really reading the play, and I think Dave Hewitt absolutely telegraphed that what he was going to do. He seemed to hold the ball out for eternity, deflate it, blow it back up, then kick it, regather his kick off the Bradford player, and manage to score just to the right-hand side of the uprights, Mark. And again, the inquest will go on behind the sticks for the Bradford Bulls players.
It will. The referee seemed to take an eternity to make a decision, but the Oldham players, they jumped up. There was a melee, wasn't there, on the floor around the try scorer. We couldn't see it was a try. I thought it was a restart 10 metres out or something like that. but couldn't see because we're, say, 50, 60 minutes away, but it was a try. And Mr. Tooby won't be happy with the switch off from Bradford Bulls, because that's 2 tries and 2 conversions now that have been let in the last 5 or 10 minutes. A lot of the fans now going home. I think they're happy that we're going to get 2 points, but not happy with the last 10 minutes performance. Totally switched off the Bradford Bulls, and you can't do that, and it'll be penalised against teams like Hull Kingston Rovers, Halifax, etc., etc.
Well, Dave, yep, as you rightly say, Mark, Dave Hewitt then managing to convert his own try to leave the score on the Provident scoreboard, now reading Bradford Bulls 35, the visitors 12, and again from nothing in the last 5 minutes of play, Oldham managed to score 2 tries and make this scoreline look a little bit more respectable in all circumstances. Again, Jordan Lilly puts the ball on the kicking tee. The wind down there must be a little bit blustery, because we see for the second time today the ball actually blown off the kicking tee as he goes towards striking it. And again, the referee just stops the clock as Lilly remounts the ball. The ball falls off the tee again. It's going to become a bit of a comical situation, this. I remember days where you used to have to get somebody to put the finger on it, Mark.
That's right, indeed, yeah.
And if you didn't like him, you booted his hand.
That's right, indeed, that's what happens.
So, as we say, play continues then here at the Provident Stadium, home of the Bradford Bulls, supported by Provident, supporting the Bradford Bulls home and away in 2017. Don't forget you can tweet us at BCB using the hashtag BCBBulls, and don't forget you can also message us on Facebook. We'd love to hear your comments, etc., as we have had a few in. We'll try and get through a few of those towards after the game commentary, etc., and bring you some full-time scores. Gene Ormsby then with the ball on the 4th tackle. The referee just having another look at that, saying, come on Bradford, again, speed it up. He's looking left and right now. He's telling the Bradford Bulls to get on side, and again, play continues, albeit at a slow pace here. Liam Bent for Oldham taking a drive on the last tackle.
Yep.
You see Dave Hewitt kick towards the corner. That is met by Oldham. Oldham still in possession. It's still the last tackle, and I think Bradford have managed to get away with that, Mark.
They've collected that ball from a bit of a schmozzle and a bit of a passing about, a basketball style from Oldham. They dropped it forward. Bradford dropped on it. 2 minutes in from the far tramline side, and about 20 minutes up from field. Just some lady scores here, Peter. Obviously Bradford Bulls 35, Oldham now 12. Dewsbury Rams 26, Toulouse 16. That's a bit of a shock if that stays the same way. London Broncos 28, Featherstone Rovers 24, Rochdale Hornets 14, Batley Bulldogs 14, Sheffield Eagles 6. The Rovers go marching on 40, and Swinton Lions 13, Halifax 12. Their latest scores, so they're not full-time results, their latest scores.
So Swinton then just slightly ahead of the Halifax, as we see now the ball come to Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan takes one, dancing, looking to go around. He gets the ball away in the tackle. James Binley into the corner. What a superb try. That was top draw rugby league, the finest that you'll ever see. What a superb understanding and linkage play.
Yeah, Ethan Ryan and Bentley today have shone like stars, like little diamonds in a gold mine, in a diamond mine. Fantastic they were, and Ethan Ryan didn't back himself. I don't know why, but he went inside and he got up and played the ball. It came to the blind side to Bentley. Bentley thought, I'm going to have this, and he went around 2 old defenders and dived into the corner. That's not fluke, that's skill, it's talent, it's ability of the highest order from young men. I think Ryan and Bentley have been the 2 best players by far today for the Bradford Bulls, both showing that they are Super League material. Fabulous score from Bentley there, superb.
Certainly, and again, I think he must have been watching videos of Ethan Ryan how he scores, because he certainly looked
some sort of format.
Yeah, and he certainly wanted to dive in there and make sure that he nailed it at the crucial point. And again, that to me, Mark, we've seen some good tries, and I'll certainly look forward to watching them on the Provident highlights that will be played at some point.
Well, that was good thinking from the young man. He kept away from heavy traffic. He went to the blind side, Pete. He could see Oldham were on the back foot. They were defending off the heels, not up on the toes, and he knew he could get into the corner. He still took a lot of scoring. Very athletic, very clever, and good. I thought James Blake today has been very, very good. He's used his brain.
Oscar Thomas then strikes that one well, sends it over the black dot. Bradford Bulls 41, Oldham 12. Mark, what a fantastic try. I still can't get over that try from James Bentley.
No, fabulous try from James Bentley. Good build-up play from the Bradford Bulls down the left-hand channel. came to Bentley from about 35 metres out. He sprinted away, but he got caught by 2 Oldham defenders, stepped off his right foot, moved inside. I thought he could have backed himself. I was wrong. He got up and played the football. He went to the left-hand side. Bentley was there, and he just thought he'd back himself. He went around 2 Oldham defenders and sort of dived over the top of them and in at the corner and around them somehow. I don't know how you get your body to do that, but it was very, very good. It was about power, strength, vision. But he knew, you could tell he was going to score that before he even set off running, because you could tell they positioned his body right to go and be able to do that, and that was good talent there from James Bentley.
Play continues then. Bradford Bulls, ball in hand, looking to attack the Oldham line. As we see James Mendacre there, James Mendacre cuts back on the inside. Oh, go James, go! This will be a superb try. What a fantastic effort from James Mendacre.
Fabulous try there from the Bradford Bulls. 35 metres upfield on the far side of the ground. The ball went from Ross Oakes, I think it was, into the hands of, I think it was Ed Chamberlain, Pete.
Yeah.
And he sprinted up the tram lines. He cut inside, he put the afterburner on, he towed it, foot to the floor, on the red line, 7,000 revs per minute, and he left the Oldham defence for dead. And he went round the back of the defence under the H's. Fabulous try there, fabulous sprinters try, fabulous entertaining try, and Oldham just had no answer to that. And it's been a day for the wingers today. It should have been. Pitch in great condition, great football from the Bradford Bulls, slicker passing, slick handling. Oldham tired, Bradford Bulls the victors.
Well, I do apologise there to Ed. I'm crediting James Mendacre with your try, Ed, there. When basically, Ed, I do apologise, but you look similar in style and running technique. And from where we are, Mark, sometimes it's hard to...
Very difficult, Pete. I only realised it was Ed Chamberlain because of his running style. I've seen his running style before now. I just recognised him. But he sprinted up the tram line there on a very short area. When you can run at that speed in the space of about 18 inches, then cut inside, that takes skill, because to move your body to the other side at speed takes some doing.
Oscar Thomas then makes sure of that one. That's going to be his easiest kick of the day. And basically now the Provident scoreboard will read Bradford Bulls 47, the Oldham Ruffians 12. I think time's nearly up, Mark. I think the Uta should go, and it does,
yeah.
signalling full time. Mark, we see the players jumping on the park. We see them clapping, applauding one another, coming together. Mark, this has been the monkey that they needed to get rid of.
Yes, it has. The monkey's gone now. They're now on 0 points. And I never thought I'd say that about the Bradford Bulls 3/4 of the way through a season. But there you go. But take nothing away from them. It's been a great game for the connoisseur. Some of the back play, 3/4 play has been superb. Oldham, maybe not the side that, you would give you the best test in the world. But still, they went out there and tried hard. They scored 12 points in the last sort of 10 minutes. But the Bentley and Ryan, for me, head and shoulders above everybody else in the field. Ably assisted by Joe Keys and Oscar Thomas.